What's up, guys? Back for the third episode. So just for a refresher, in case you haven't looked at the other videos, the first one was dribbling, right? Looking at dribbling and flicking. So we looked at how to practice flicks, dribbling, etc., and how to apply it, right? One thing to know the mechanic, another thing to know how to use it, which is something that you'll hear me say a lot. So that was the point of that first episode. The second one was power shots, right? So making sure that no matter where you are on the field, whether you're close to your opponent's net or far away, and maybe your opponent overcommits or they're too high up, that you're able to shoot with a lot of power, um, as well as placement, right? So making sure that you can place that ball, because again, shots are something that people don't really think about, but when you're in these games, right, it's important that you actually place the shots based off of where your opponent is driving. So it's like if the opponent is driving towards their front post, right, you want to try and place it behind them so that they don't have time to react, and stuff like that. So very, very important stuff. If you haven't, make sure that you go and watch those on my channel. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe and that you hit the notification button so you can see when I upload. But with that being said, today we're moving on to kind of the more fun stuff per se. I know that when everyone thinks of Rocket League, they're like aerials, aerials, aerials. So that's kind of the point today. Is we're looking at some intermediate aerials, and then we'll continue to build onto that. So after that, we'll start reading the backboard, right? Doing aerials where we have to read it off of the backboard, aerials where we have to set it up ourselves off of the backboard, right? Double taps. As well as some other like first touches in the air, control touches, stuff like that. So today is the focus of shooting, so power shots per se, but in the air. So with that being said, let's hop into it. So as usual, we got the training pack code here. My editor will zoom in on it. It'll be in the description below for you to copy and paste if you're on PC. And this training pack has 10 shots, so we'll go through each one, and we'll kind of use that same system from the power shots where we are trying to place the ball, and to do that we have to hit a certain part of the ball. So if you're unsure about how that works or where or how it works when your car hits the top left of the ball and where that's going to cause the ball to go, make sure you go watch that power shots video so that you get an idea of how that stuff works, because it is exactly the same in the air as it is on the ground. So obviously on the first shot, you're always going to hear me ramble a bit because there's some context and things that you should know, tips and tricks. So to start things off, right, when you are going for aerials, the mindset that you need to have is predictive, right? Don't think about where the ball is now. Think about where it's going to be. And that applies to anything in Rocket League, right? It's not always about where it is now, it's about where it's going to be. That's how you position yourself. That's how you know where the ball is going to end up, is you think about, okay, who's going to hit the ball, where are they going to hit it, stuff like that. So whenever we're going through these aerials, right, you don't want to just jump towards where you see the ball. You want to jump towards where the ball is going to be when you get to it, right? So think of it as like a trajectory, right? You have to align yourself to intercept that ball. So whenever we're doing these aerials, you want to think about where that ball is going to be and how you're going to intercept it. So what I recommend is you jump in to start, as you kind of learn how to read the ball, is you jump in the general direction of where you think the ball is going to be, right? You don't have to be pinpoint accurate, right? You'll get better at that the more you play and more you practice, but jump in the general direction and then make adjustments. Right, so think about where it's going to go, and then while you're in the air, you can make those adjustments to either go left, right, up, down a little bit as needed. So let's get into this first shot and kind of demonstrate how that works. So for this first shot, we know the general direction, right? You can see the path trajectory. So I'm just going to jump straight because I'm already pretty aligned, and I'm going to fast aerial. If you need to learn how to do that, make sure you go to the video linked at the top right or look at fast aerials on my YouTube channel and learn how to do that, and then come back to here. But I'm going to jump, look up, boost, jump, and I'm going to hit the ball a little bit on the right middle of the ball so that it goes straight, and then gravity will naturally pull it down. And then I also hit it to the left because I'm hitting it on the right side of the ball, so it'll go opposite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump and try and slide towards that back post here, so you'll see me jump, and then aim my car a little bit, and we'll see in the replay, like I said, right, you make the general, you jump in the general direction, and then you make the small adjustments. So you'll see me jump straight, and then I tilt a little bit to the left, and you'll see I hit kind of that center of the ball on the right, and then because of that, gravity naturally pulls it down, and on top of that, since I hit it on the right side of the ball, it's going to go left, so then I kind of put it towards that back post. So now we're adding to the complexity, right? So the ball is bouncing off that left wall, so we know that as it bounces off that left wall, it's going to come back mid, so I'm not going to turn towards the wall, right? I'm just going to keep going straight because it's going to bounce off the wall and come back. And then here, since I'm on the left side of the net, I want to try and hit it to the right. So to hit it to the right, we're going to hit the left side of the ball. And since we're kind of at, for a little bit above the net when we hit it, or where we expect to hit it, right, we want to just hit the middle left of the ball. right? Kind of where that blinking is happening on that ball, so that it goes to the right and then it goes down with gravity. And then for this one, it's up to you whether you want to air roll or not. I like to air roll because it kind of allows me to adjust my angle a little bit, but it's not necessary. So I'll kind of show you both so that you get an idea of how to do both. So here, method one, no air roll. I'm going to hit the middle left of the ball to try and make the ball go right towards the net. So I'll jump, hit the left side of the ball, that causes the ball to go right. And then if you want to work on placement, right, you can try to hit the ball in different areas. So you could try and hit it a little bit more centrally, and then it would slot more towards that front post. Or you could hit even more on the left and it would go towards that back post. So now again, but with air roll. So this is more natural for me. This makes more sense, is I'm going to jump fast aerial, and I'm going to air roll to the right slightly and kind of redirect the ball. So I'm still going to hit it in that same area, but my car is just going to be sideways. So I'm going to jump, and then you'll see I hit it in that same area, but I'm just sideways, and that feels more natural to me because it allows me, and you'll see it here, as I jump, allows me to kind of angle my car in the direction that I want to hit the ball. So you can kind of see my car's facing the direction where the ball ends up going. So shot 3 is a little bit more complex. You're not going to see this in games a bunch, but it's going to kind of roll up the wall and bounce out towards you a little bit. And since you're really high above the net, you need to hit the ball down, right? Gravity isn't going to be able to pull it down enough since you're so close to the net. It's not going to have time to naturally pull it down. So you have to hit the top of the ball, and your only goal here is to put it on target. You don't really care about the placement as much. It's just about getting it on target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump, and I'm going to hover. You'll see I tap my boost, hit the top of the ball, and that puts the ball down. And that's the goal with this shot. We'll see it again here. You're kind of hovering, making your way up slowly, and then hitting the top of the ball to hit the ball down underneath the crossbar. Otherwise, you're going to hit the backboard. Now we're going back to shot 2, but off the corner instead of the wall. So I'm trying to hit the left middle of the ball to slot it at that front post. And obviously, if you want to hit it even more on the left, you could try and slot it at that back post, but that's a little bit tough here. So middle left of the ball to slot it around the front post, with or without air roll. I'll show you both. So I'm going to jump, and I'm going to tap the left side of the ball, and that's going to put it at the front post. And we'll watch the replay so you can see it slower. So again, jump in the general direction, tap the middle left of the ball, and then that's going to, like, gravity's going to pull it down, and it's going to go to the front post. And now again, but with air roll. So I'm going to jump, and I'm going to air roll slightly to the right, and then I'm going to slide in that bottom left corner. And obviously you could go faster and try and slide in that top left corner. If you want to slide in that top left corner here, you would have to go to the ball faster and hit it more centrally. Here the ball had fallen so much that when I hit it centrally, it just immediately plummeted down with gravity. So no air roll for shot 5 needed. Obviously you can if you want, but no need to overcomplicate it. So here, right, we're looking into the corner. And let's think back to what we talked about, right? We want to think about where the ball is going to go next, not where it's going now. So here it's in the corner. We don't want to face this direction, right? Because if I were to just jump over here, right, I'm missing completely, right? So what we need to do is think about where it's going to go next. So I'm going to turn to the right and just do a basic aerial in the general direction of where it's going to go. And that's going to allow me to intercept it. All right, so let's watch that again. Think about where that ball is going to go. It's going to go to the right, so I'm going to turn towards the right, and I'm just going to try to intercept it and jump in the general direction, then make adjustments. The reason I was so precise and able to get that crossbar down is just because I've done this training pack, and I am comfortable reading the ball and how long it's going to take to get to X point, which means that I need to go this direction, stuff like that, right? That's repetition. Jump in the general direction of where you think it's going to go and make the adjustments from there. And the more you do it, the faster and more efficient you'll get at it. So here, again, no air roll really needed. You could air roll right a little bit and hit it with your corner if you want, but you don't really need to do that. So here the ball is going to hit off the backboard and back towards you, right? So since I'm facing the corner, I need to turn to the left a little bit. And since I'm on the right side of the net, I need to hit the right side of the ball so that the ball goes left, right? So think about what side of the net you're on, and then that determines what side of the ball you need to be hitting in order to make it go towards the net. So turn a little bit to the left, and then hit the right side of the ball, and that's going to slot it towards that bottom left. Now, ideally, you don't want to hit the ground like I did, but if you don't want to hit the ground like I did, right, you want to hit a little bit lower on the ball. Since I hit a little bit higher up on the ball, it went down, and then it hit the ground. This is an interesting one, because in games, you're not really going to encounter this a bunch, and especially if it were to hit off the ceiling here, your opponent would probably get to it first, but in case it's like an open net going off of kind of that idea, what we want to do is not just aerial towards the ceiling, because it's going to hit the ceiling and come down. We want to just aerial up in the general direction of where it's going to bounce after it hits the ground, and then we'll make the adjustment from there. So you'll see I just kind of drive up, and I'm going to jump, and I'm just going to kind of make my adjustment, and I hit the top of the ball to make the ball go down. Because I'm above the crossbar. If you wanted to, right, you could also hit it more to the right by going to the left of the ball. Or you could slide that front post by going a little bit more to the right of the ball. Here, it's hitting off the wall and you're really close to it, so you don't want to just aerial at full speed, right? If I were to just aerial forward, I'm just going to end up in front of the ball like that. So what we want to do is kind of let it hit off the wall and then jump after it. We know it's going to go middle, so jump in that general direction as it hits off the wall, and then make your adjustment from there. And we also know we need to hit the right side of the ball to make it go left. Right, so think about that, and you'll see that in this example here. I jump and I hit kind of the right side of the ball, and that makes it go towards that left side of the net. And we'll watch it again in the replay, obviously. So I drive, and then I jump behind the ball, and you'll see I hit the right side of that ball, and it makes it go towards that left corner. Now, if you wanted it to go right corner, then you would hit a little bit more centrally on the ball, and then it would stay closer to the front post. This is another close shot, similar to that shot where it rolled up the wall and back out, where we had to kind of hover. So here we're going to need to hover again. There's kind of two ways to go about it. The main one is the point of this, which is to hover and then tap the ball down into the net. The second one is to make a very soft touch and to double tap, but that's kind of up to you if you want to experiment around with that. We'll do a whole training pack on double taps later on, but I'll show you both methods just so you can see it in case you want to try it for fun and make things a little bit harder, and that'll prepare you for the future training packs. But let's start with method one, where we're just hovering. So you're going to see that I jump and I kind of hover up into the air, and I tap the top of the ball, and that's going to make it go down right underneath the crossbar. So we'll watch that again. You'll see I jump, I hover above the ball, and I hit the top, which causes it to go down. Obviously, if I wanted to slide it towards that back post, I would hit the left top of the ball, and then it would go bottom right towards that, either bottom right corner or top right corner, I guess, since you're above the ball or above the net. Let's do the double tap version for fun, right? So for the double tap, what we need to do is make a very soft touch on the ball so it goes towards the backboard slowly, and then gravity's going to pull us down and the ball down, and then we'll tap into the net. So you're going to see I jump, I make a very soft touch, then I kind of tap it very lightly, and that's where we have to get a little bit creative. We can either do some sort of backflip per se, where I just kind of hold my S key down and do backflip like that, or I can even turn my car sideways like I did there, where I do a backflip to some extent, and then I start using A or D to turn my car sideways. But very complex, kind of overdoing it, but if you want to experiment with it, it's an easier double tap that you can do where it's slow and you can take your time. For this last one, we want to think of it as like a counterattack, right? You're trying to get to the ball as quickly as possible and just put something on target. So you're going to want to front flip, right, to conserve boost, because if you like jump like this, right, you're going to waste a bunch of boost going towards the ball like that. So that doesn't make sense, right? So we're going to front flip, diagonal flip, speed flip towards the ball, and then we're going to aerial and just try to hit the middle of the ball and place it just in the middle of the net. Now if you want to hit it to the right, then hit the left middle of the ball. If you want to make it go left, hit the middle right of the ball, right? So flip towards it, aerial, hit the middle of the ball, and just put it on target, right? Trying to get to it as fast as possible. You'll see it again here. I flip, try to get to it as fast as possible, and then hit the middle of the ball and just put it on target. Nothing too crazy. Counterattack goal. That's the goal of this one. So here is an example of aerials in action, right? And even in SSL, right, there are opportunities to do basic or intermediate aerials just like we practiced today. So they're important in Champ, GC, Diamond, Plat, as well as SSL. So what you'll see here is, so I have Joro on my team, a former rank A player. I think he's B+ right now or something like that. And then two people from 1800 rank 2s. And what I do here is do a basic aerial, and I know that players tend to go up into the air, especially when they're far away from the net. So I kind of anticipate him going for a ground to air dribble. So you'll see, and we'll put it in slow motion here, that as he makes the touch, I'm already pre-jumping him. And it's a basic aerial, right? And what I'm thinking about is, hey, I need to put the ball on target. And to do that, I need to hit the middle of the ball, and I need to hit it on the right side. So I'm going to use my left corner, and you're going to see I hit the right side of that ball. And what that's going to do is make the ball kind of go straight and down with gravity pulling it down naturally, and then it's also going to make it go to the left towards the net. And it's just a basic shot, but it puts it right on target, right in the dead center of the net, and that gives us a goal. All right, so that's an example of aerials in action without overcomplicating anything, and also showing you how I go about my thought process of where I need to hit the ball. And then for our second example, I'll kind of show something with a little bit more air roll. But again, it's the same idea, right? So what I'll do is put this into 50% speed, and you'll see as this person jumps, right, they're thinking about where that ball is going to go next. It's going to go towards the right of their perspective right now, to the right of our screen. And they see the opponent up in the bottom right corner. Unfortunately, that's me in this situation. And they go up, and their goal is to hit it past me, right? So they can't hit it to the right because that's going to be down into me. So they need to hit it to the left of the net over me. So what you'll see is they hit the ball on the right side, very soft using the underside of their car, and that'll pop it to the left over and into that bottom left corner, right? So that's an example of very good placement where the player hits the right side of the ball soft and to the left, and that allows them to pop it past the opponent and place it in a position where they can score and win this game. So that kind of wraps up this intermediate aerials video. So that is the third video in our mechanical training pack series, or training pack progression series, whatever you want to call it. So today we covered the intermediate aerials. Last time we did power shots, right? Then dribbling before that. Next time we'll look more at, like, I think it's basic rebound. So we're looking at how do we read the ball off the backboard, off the walls. How do we get more comfortable with that, and some tips and tricks similar to what we did today, right? Where we think about the general direction of where that ball is going to go, and then we make adjustments once we're in the air. So we'll talk about that again next time and look at some more specifics and some more examples. But with that being said, make sure that you subscribe, like the video, etc., notifications. Join the Discord. It's linked in the description below. And then, other than that, as usual, thank you for your time, and wish you the best of luck with practicing intermediate aerials as well as any other mechanic that you're looking to learn.